la première parole, c'était français. Mais j'ai pas la langue que tu nous as parlé quand j'étais à l'école, et c'est connu qu'on a parlé français. So, I'm going to start in English. So that you understand what I'm saying, you know. What I said was that was not, you know, what I started out in the language was French because that was the first language that I learned as a kid until we went to school. Then when we went to school, then we learned English. And I understand, you know, and I know last night y'all met with Brenda, so she probably told you enough about our tribe that'll last you a lifetime because she's good at it. She's a great representative of our tribe. She's been our principal chief for the past 13 years before I got elected here. So, I mean, I'm following in her legacy, which, man, look, believe me, it's a real big shadow to come out, but we're trying to do our best because, like you say, she's been through a lot of the hurricanes, Katrina, Rita, Gustav, Ike, and all the ones in between all these that people don't realize and understand that, you know, it's a great battle. And we understand this, the water very well because we're a water tribe. We live along the coastline in 6 parishes. The areas that we occupy and we live in our residency was created by the Mississippi River until 1927 when they dammed it off. And that pretty much initially started the demise of our territory because the land started subsiding. There was no more nourishment from the river coming in to revitalize the areas that we lived in. So a lot of it started to deteriorate. And then introduced the oil companies coming in and digging location canals throughout the parishes and taking the oil. So when we filed for our federal recognition, which I know she probably mentioned, you know, we had a lot of opposition to the oil companies because they wanted us to relinquish the land rights that we had. And what you said earlier about the land, yes, we live on the land, but the land does, you know, we don't. Obviously, that we belong to you know, we live on the earth, and the earth doesn't belong to us. We're only here short time, and it's up to us, each and every one.
That's your return.
That's it. So, you know, our legacy is what we're going to leave for our grandchildren, you know, because if we come there and our generation, you know, we've let it go a long way. We let it go way too long before we stood up and really taking a stand that we need to take now. Yes. We need to be voiceless, we need to be forceful, we need to make people that don't understand all companies, you know, in particular, they think they can come in and just take what they want from the land and then once they abuse it and move on. Now they're talking about fracking. And I know we could spend all night talking about it, but it takes 6 million gallons of water when you start doing that. So that's a lot of water that they're going to go through to do this, and you know, it's supposed to be environmentally friendly. But as we know, we live in communities around here in Grumval where we just went through a court case and they back in it again, you know, because they deem drilling, the oil and everything as non-hazardous, so they can disperse of it or get rid of it in landfill above. I don't know if you ever been to Grumval in Terrebonne Parish. You go down this Burglar Rose Highway, it's called, and on both sides of the highway, the smell is so atrocious, you're going to roll up the window and you're going to say, wow, where did I pass or where did I come from? It's going to make you nauseous. Lucas has been there a lot. He's been a big activist in our communities. In fact, we have a big, you know, have a study going on now due to the oil spill where we tested the seafood, we tested everything else. Now we're going to start testing human samples. He can want to say a little bit about that. But, you know, we have to do all these things because as man's injustice to the environment has a penalty to pay. And it's going to happen. You can look at us, you know, my generation, land that I used to hunt, we used to farm, we used to raise cattle. Now we fish. You can take a boat literally and ride everywhere where we used to do all these things. My uncle, when we go down to the island road, he looks on both sides and he's always reminding me when I was a kid, and he's 78 years old and I'm 57. He tells me when he was a kid, he remembered all of that. And I tell him, well, no, you know what? I remember some of that too. It was just a little bit less when I was a kid, but I said now that I have grandkids and I'll bring them over there and I'll show them. I say, this is where we used to hunt. This is where we used to farm. This is where a lot of our people live. Now they no longer can live there because it's open water. And it's not only happened in our area, but all along the Mississippi, all the way everywhere, where there's indigenous people. They just think, you know, because we're the first here, they just take it and just abuse it and use it like they want. And then when they don't have no more use for it, then they say, okay, you can have it back. And when they give it back to you, then it's all poison and it's not livable. So the great walk that you haven't, you know, taken on, it means a whole lot to us. And I know last night, you know, Brenda, she talked a lot faster than me, so I can know what I said, but I want y'all to But she's, you know, like I said, I don't want to take it down from her. She's a great lady. Her and I had a discussion today, and, you know, told me about the great time y'all had last night. And I said, wonderful. So tonight, you know, I just want to extend that warm welcome to everyone that's made this long journey and realizing the difficulty, as the pastor said, you know, giving up the creature comforts to be here. We thank you for starting this long walk and bringing this awareness to our people. Although, you know, we realized many, many years ago that things were happening to our environment, but somehow or another, it always takes a lady, for whatever reason, to get the attention of a man. Whatever reason that is, it always happens that way. When Mama speaks, everybody listens. And if Mama's not happy, nobody's happy. So with that, I have a little medal from our tribe. It's a little pin that we have. And this lady, Sharon. Walking her. She did a lot of walking.